there just hasn't been much rain, if any, and
the pool table effect.
yeah. They were calling earlier in the week. They were calling for a little bit of rain, but now it's kind of pushed off to the weekend. Though it is supposed to cool down after tomorrow. I mean, today was, I think the high was 78 or 79.
Oh man, that's perfect.
But yeah, there's just been no significant rain, and when you start to look at the Breeders' Cup turf races, especially with the Europeans, you know how they're hypersensitive to the ground. Oh, the ground, they're going. So they're going to, there's going to be a lot of complaining about it. Though I'm not really sure what we can do. Doesn't rain. This in North America, we don't extensively water turf courses like they do over there. But I just don't know how much, unless it rains super hard the day before, the day of, if it's going to have a significant if it's going to change it significantly.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I don't recall what the weather was like leading up to the last time it was there, but I want to say it was nice.
Yeah, I think it was.
I think the weather was unseasonably warm, actually.
Right. I mean, I remember the last the 2 days of races at Keeneland for the Breeders' Cup a couple years ago were really nice. But yeah, the Keeneland main track surface has been a lot of complaints about it being dry and sandy, and just kind of horses aren't getting a hold of it. Tiring, deep. So we'll see, but a lot of good horses here. I mean, everyone's here basically. So, Flightline, your horse, he made it into town yesterday. Jogged a little bit.
Padded his stall, apparently.
You got a padded stall. You're gonna have to pad John Sadler's hotel room. He's gonna be.
That's the one you got to worry about.
He's gonna be bouncing up the walls. He's gonna be so nervous before that. And I'll be honest, I've never been in a position like he's been in, where, I mean, very few trainers have, where the you're so. I'm trying to think of the word. The expectation level of your horse isn't only that you're supposed to win the Breeders' Cup Classic. You're supposed to crush them. And believe me, if they win by a neck, he'll be relieved and happy. But
he'll catch some flack.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I saw Bill Finley wrote another article today saying, "Oh, Flightline should definitely come back next year," and then didn't really make much of a case for why he should come back next year, other than it was a very strange piece. It was in the TDN. And I'll continue to say, I just don't understand how it's going to be great for horse racing if a horse that only runs a couple times a year comes back, because he's only going to run a couple times. And
against a couple of opponents, because it's not like he's running against 14 horse fields. Everybody's trying to get a crack at him. It's not that kind of situation.
No, right. Exactly. It's not like everybody's going to say, yeah, we want our chance. I mean, the Classic has a representative size field, but hell, it seems like virtually everyone in the Classic is making their last start in the Classic, outside of Taiba and Epicenter. Pretty much everyone else is headed off to the shed after this.
That's wild. Yeah, Olympiad came out today.
Yeah, Olympiad, Happy Saver. Who else is in there?
Cyberknife.
No, he's going to the mile, the dirt mile.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, sorry.
Dirty mile.
Boo.
Yeah, Jack Christopher seems like he's going to go to the sprint, which makes sense. I don't see why you would try him around 2 turns in that race.
Yeah, that's the spot for him.
I mean, if he wins the sprint, he's the sprint champion. You get, you're a year-end champion. You get a Eclipse Award. If you win the dirt mile,
you get a high five and a Coca-Cola.
Yeah, I don't see. I mean, I guess the 3-year-old championship is still up for grabs if something crazy were to happen.
Crazy like how?
Like Rich Strike, where the Winter Classic.
Well, that'll make it easy.
He would get plenty of support.
I mean, if you look at,
I mean, it's not easy for Rich Strike to win the Classic. I think it's like literally maybe a 1 or 2% chance of that happening.
Epicenter's body of work may be better, but it's only because he, how can I say this? Basically, he didn't win a lot of those races he ran good in.
No, you can't say that the Louisiana Derby, Jim Dandy, Travers trifecta is better than the Derby Classic.
No way.
No. You can't. But really, that's about the only way that could happen.
Yeah.
Because even if Epicenter runs up the track in the Classic and Jack Christopher were to win, you just don't see the year-end award winners given to sprinters. And there's nothing wrong with it. I always thought it was a little bit odd. Sprinters kind of get treated like kickers in football. You want to have them, and you better have a good one, but they just always seem to get downgraded because, they're quote-unquote just sprinters. But, I mean, I guess there's a scenario where Jack Christopher wins the sprint and Epicenter runs last in the Classic, and maybe there's momentum to have that, I don't know, maybe. And yet, what difference does it make other than the people that own those horses?
Yeah,
it really doesn't make it
pretty much.
Yeah. But it's it's kind of interesting to talk about. But I mean, right now, if Epicenter runs decent, it's the board in the Classic, it'd be hard to see anybody overtaking him.
Right, unless it was like he finished second, Taiba beats him.
Yeah, I mean, I guess even Taiba, right? I mean, Taiba, Santa Anita Derby, and the Pennsylvania Derby. So,
I know it's so crazy to think about because Taiba was like gone for a while.
Right. Taiba was very, very close to winning the Haskell too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he could have
probably should have. He's probably the best that day. He just didn't get the right trip.
Yeah, that's a good point. He probably was the best that day. But I think the sprint is a more interesting race, Jackie's Warrior versus Jack Christopher, than not.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
I mean, that makes that race a lot more compelling. And Gunite won over the weekend, and he ran a big figure.
Gunite is in razor sharp form, as they say.
And he, supposedly is going to wheel him back.
They should. Why not?
I don't know why. I have no answer to
that. I mean, it only makes sense. The horses, it can't be doing any better than he's doing, clearly.